unveiling the enigma of ancient Chinese astronomy. Part 3: Mandate of Heaven, Cosmic Omens and Dynastic Cycles. The Celestial Summoning. Imagine for a moment that the sky above you is not simply a passive canvas of drifting clouds, distant stars, and pale moonlight, but a living, breathing, governing force, one that watches, listens, and responds. Imagine that every flicker of a star, every trembling of the moon's shadow, every streak of fire across the heavens carries a message, a command, a warning. Now imagine that your entire civilization depends on understanding those celestial whispers. This is where our journey begins, not in the bustling courts of emperors, nor in the dusty chambers of scholars, but beneath a sky that ruled kings, a sky that decided who would rise, who would fall, and who would be remembered for thousands of years. For the ancient Chinese believed the heavens were alive, and these cosmic forces held the mandate of heaven, the ultimate authority over earth. But what happens when the heavens grow silent? Or worse, when they roar? And what if those roars were misread? Tonight, we open the scrolls of a civilization that trusted the stars more than swords, omens more than armors, eclipses more than emperors. But as we begin, I must warn you, the deeper we look, the more the cosmos begins to look back. The rise of a cosmic empire. Long before the dynasties carved their names into marble and bronze, the sky carved its commands across the minds of China's earliest rulers. For these leaders, power was never truly theirs, it was loaned to them by the cosmos. Early kings gathered on mountain peaks at dawn, waiting for the sky to approve their rule. If the sun rose clean and bright, their path was blessed. If the clouds churned strangely or the wind whispered unfavorably, doubts spread. And if the night sky displayed unusual movements, stars wandering, lights flashing, patterns shifting, the king trembled, for the heavens do not speak in riddles without reason. But what exactly were they seeing? What made the rulers so certain that the heavens were keeping score? Was it superstition, or sophisticated cosmic observation disguised as myth? Divining destiny through the cosmos, the royal astronomers, known as the Tianguan, the officers of heaven, stood at the crossroads between science and prophecy. They were not simply looking at stars, they were interpreting divine judgment. Their records were meticulous: star positions, comet paths, eclipse shadows, seasonal anomalies. Every movement was logged, compared, studied. Why? Because they believed the universe had a language, and they alone could read it. If a comet appeared in the east, the king prepared for political upheaval. If the moon darkened unexpectedly, generals readied their armors. If 5 planets aligned, the court debated whether this was a blessing or an omen of rebellion. But imagine the pressure. Your mistake could dethrone a king. Your misinterpretation could spark war. Your silence could doom the nation. How many astronomers were punished for omens they failed to predict? How many rulers fell because they ignored the sky's warnings? The invisible contract between heaven and earth, the mandate of heaven was not a crown, it was a contract. If an emperor ruled with virtue, the skies would remain harmonious. If corruption spread, nature would rebel. Earthquakes meant moral decay. Floods meant governmental failure. Droughts meant the emperor had angered the heavens. And celestial anomalies, those were the big ones, the cosmic red flags. The appearance of a rogue star was interpreted as the heavens literally writing the emperor's mistakes into the sky. Imagine ruling a nation knowing that the next eclipse might declare you unfit to lead. And yet, this belief created a remarkable system. Rulers were accountable not to the people but to the cosmos. But what happens when the heavens send signs that defy interpretation? What if the sky begins to behave in ways that no scroll has ever recorded? When the SKY turned against empires, one of the earliest recorded sky-shaking events in ancient China happened during the final days of the Xia dynasty. Witnesses reported a sudden sun at night, a blazing sphere tearing silently across the stars. Some modern scholars suspect it was a meteor, but the ancient astronomers read it as a cosmic verdict. The Xia rulers had lost the mandate. Rebellion followed, the dynasty fell. But this was only the first of many times that celestial phenomena triggered political upheaval. During the Shang dynasty, a bright-tailed star appeared repeatedly in the northwest sky. The Shang astronomers warned their king that this meant calamity unless he changed course. He didn't. Within a generation, the Shang collapsed, replaced by the Ju. Coincidence, or cosmic calculation? And if these events were so closely linked to actual astronomical occurrences, what were the ancient Chinese really observing? Comets, meteors, supernovas, or something even more mysterious? The Ju dynasty and the celestial order. The Ju took cosmic interpretation to an entirely new level. They believed the universe was an intricate web of balance, yin and yang, seasons and cycles, rulers and omens. Their kings claimed they had earned the mandate because they understood the skies were better than their predecessors. They even used cosmic symbolism to justify military campaigns, arguing that the constellations favored their movements. But the Jew astronomers discovered something unsettling. The heavens were not predictable. Sometimes the stars behaved beautifully, following their expected paths. But other times, they broke the rules. Constellations shifted positions. Strange streaks of light crossed the heavens. Red stars pulsed unnaturally. What were these anomalies? Were they atmospheric events, astronomical phenomena, or something the Jew could not comprehend? And more importantly, how do you rule a world whose sky refuses to be tamed? Scientist kings and the celestial clockwork, some Jew rulers became obsessed with deciphering the cosmic code. They funded enormous observatories, circular platforms of stone where astronomers could track star paths with unbelievable precision. They built water clocks, sundials, and armillary spheres, early models of the heavens. They charted planetary motion, mapped seasonal cycles, and measured solar paths across the year. Their knowledge became so refined that they could predict eclipses centuries ahead. But beneath this scientific triumph lurked fear of the celestial unknown. Because every prediction they made raised more questions. Each star tracked revealed another pattern. Each pattern studied revealed another anomaly. And every anomaly whispered the same truth. The heavens were far more complex than any emperor had assumed. So who, or what, was truly in charge? The strange red star that terrified a nation. During the spring and autumn period, a red, pulsating star appeared above the central plains. It was unlike anything the astronomers had seen, neither comet nor planet nor known constellation. It hovered for weeks. It changed brightness. It shifted unnaturally. The astronomers panicked. The king demanded answers. Priests offered sacrifices. Farmers refused to work at night. Warriors interpreted it as a sign that war was imminent. But the truth, no one knew. Was it the explosion of a distant star, a supernova? Was it volcanic ash refracting light? Was it the arrival of a comet whose path had never crossed China before? Or something else entirely? When the star finally vanished, the nation breathed relief, but the fear it sparked remained. And then, almost as if in response, the Jew kings began to lose their grip on power. Cities rebelled. Provinces defied the court. The empire fractured. Coincidence? Or a cosmic countdown? When heavenly omens shook the throne, the Jew collapse marked not only a political turning point, but a cosmic awakening. As the old order crumbled, the skies seemed to grow louder, as if the heavens themselves were reacting to the chaos below. Astronomers recorded strange halos around the moon, nights where the stars flickered more rapidly than usual, and days when the sun's light looked dimmed, not eclipsed, simply weaker, as though something unseen had passed between Earth and the sky. These reports were scattered across bamboo strips like scattered cries for explanation, and the rulers who remained listened with deepening fear, wondering whether the heavens were punishing them or warning them. But one question echoed more than any other. If the mandate of heaven could be given and taken by celestial signs, was ANY ruler truly safe? The Warring States, an age of cosmic disorder, as China splintered into warring kingdoms, the cosmos appeared to mirror the turmoil. Comets were seen in nearly every direction, some long-tailed, some bright as fire, some shaped like swords or banners. Each kingdom claimed the omens favored them and doomed their enemies. In Qin, the astronomers saw a comet streaking eastward and declared it a sign the eastern states would fall. In Chu, a comet moving westward was read as the opposite. The stars themselves were caught in political warfare. But beneath the interpretations, something larger was happening. The frequency of recorded anomalies skyrocketed. More strange lights, more erratic patterns, more unexplained red glows. Did greater conflict cause more sky watching? Or was the sky truly growing restless? And why did so many omens appear just before decisive battles, as though the heavens were foreshadowing the outcomes? The prophecy that changed everything. In the kingdom of Qin, one astronomer, his name lost to history, recorded a chilling omen. A star emerges from the heart of the heavens. Its light is cold. Its message is sharp. A ruler will arise who commands both earth and sky. The astrologers interpreted this as a prophecy of a unifier, a conqueror, a man chosen not by men but by the cosmos. And not long after, a ruthless young king ascended Qin's throne, Yingzheng, who would become Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. Was this coincidence, or cosmic destiny unfolding? That single omen, one streak of cold light, gave Qin's ministers the confidence to claim heaven's blessing. And when a second omen followed, a glowing cloud shaped like a dragon curling over the Qin capital, their certainty solidified. But what was that cloud? Atmospheric refraction, smoke, a rare astronomical phenomenon, or something stranger, something that ancient observers could only describe with the language of myth. Qin Shi Huang and the celestial right to unify the world. As Qin armies marched outward, defeating rival states one by one, Qin Shi Huang invoked heaven constantly. He rebuilt observatories, imperial star platforms, and celestial towers. He commanded astronomers to revise all star charts and eliminate contradictions, because if he were truly heaven's chosen ruler, the cosmos must reflect a perfect order. Any anomaly became a threat to his legitimacy. Eclipse, someone would be punished. Meteor, advisors panicked. Comet, ceremonies were held immediately. And yet Qin Shi Huang's reign was riddled with such omens. Records mention a falling star that struck near a riverbank, after which a strange stone was found covered in inscriptions no one could understand. Another record describes a wandering red star that passed too close to Jupiter, causing panic among court astrologers. Were these phenomena simply natural, or signs that the mandate he claimed was slipping through his fingers? Because every empire that rises must one day fall, and the heavens always give warnings. The terror of the falling star. One night during Qin Shi Huang's reign, the sky burned. Witnesses described a fireball tearing across the darkness, trailing sparks like shattered sunlight. Some thought it was a dragon descending. Others believed it was heaven firing an arrow at Earth. When the meteor crashed, locals found scorched ground and a strange piece of celestial stone. Someone carved a prophecy onto it. The first emperor will die. His kingdom will fall. Qin Shi Huang was furious. He executed villagers, burned records, and tried to erase the omen, but the cosmos cannot be silenced. The emperor died soon after during his journey to seek immortality, and not long after, the Qin dynasty collapsed. Was it because of rebellion, poor leadership, or did the heavens truly withdraw their mandate? Why do so many dynasties fall shortly after major celestial events? Were the ancient Chinese seeing patterns, or recognizing a cosmic rhythm that modern people have forgotten? The Han dynasty's celestial awakening. The Han dynasty rose from Qin's ashes, and unlike the Qin, they embraced the cosmic relationship fully and openly. Han emperors surrounded themselves with astronomers, astrologers, cosmic theorists, yin-yang philosophers, and ritual specialists. They built enormous observatories and improved armillary spheres. They refined eclipse prediction until it was nearly flawless. But why did they invest so obsessively in tracking the sky? Because they believed heaven had given them the mandate, and they feared losing it just as quickly. Every celestial anomaly triggered immediate political action. If a comet appeared, reforms were announced. If an eclipse occurred, the emperor issued a public apology for his failures. Think about that. Imagine a world where a king apologizes because the moon moved into Earth's shadow. But to the Han, eclipses were not simple astronomy. They were cosmic displeasure made visible. And the more they studied the skies, the more anomalies they found. The emperor who listened to the SKY, Emperor Wu of Han, one of China's greatest rulers, relied heavily on celestial readings. He believed stars were not merely distant suns but heavenly ministers, each corresponding to events on Earth. When the Broom star, a comet, appeared during his 13th year, he panicked. The astronomers said it meant death or disaster. The emperor performed rituals, offered sacrifices, and released prisoners to demonstrate humility. Yet despite his efforts, his beloved wife died soon after. Was it coincidence? Was it political manipulation by astrologers? Or did Emperor Wu believe so deeply in cosmic signs that he shaped events around them? The more the Han rulers looked up, the more the sky seemed to answer back, almost too perfectly. That begs the question, were they discovering patterns in nature, or building a psychological system that made patterns inevitable? The double comet and the dynastic crisis. One of the most terrifying omens in Han history was the appearance of two comets at once. The records described them as two swords crossing the sky. Astronomers declared it a sign of political conflict, a cosmic duel foreshadowing factional struggle. And indeed, the Han court soon erupted with rivalries, coups, and assassinations. The Empress Dowager's clan fought the eunuchs. Generals rebelled. Provinces declared independence. The empire fractured, just as the comets had suggested. But pause for a moment. Is it possible that the appearance of dual comets created fear, and that fear fueled political instability? Or were the ancient Chinese truly witnessing an eerie alignment between celestial movement and human fate? Why did so many major rebellions, assassinations, and collapses coincide with recorded sky anomalies? Were the heavens truly writing warnings? Warnings only the ancient astronomers had the tools to read. Earthquakes, eclipses, and the cosmic feedback loop. During the later Han, disasters multiplied: earthquakes, famines, droughts, floods. Each signaled, in the belief system of the time, that the emperor had lost virtue. The heavens were scolding him. Astronomers became political advisors, moral critics, and prophets. They interpreted every tremor as a judgment. But here's the twist. The emperor's behavior often changed because of these celestial readings. Edicts were issued, policies reversed, officials punished, reforms enacted. The sky shook the throne, literally and metaphorically. This created a feedback loop. The people believed disaster meant cosmic dissatisfaction, so rebellions grew more likely during abnormal times. And rebellions brought more instability, more suffering, more omens. The mandate of heaven system worked, but it also ensured that every dynasty was doomed from the moment it began. A cosmic contract no one could permanently fulfill. The yellow turban omen. In the final years of Han rule, a strange yellow glow was repeatedly seen in the night sky, drifting like smoke yet behaving like a celestial object. Astronomers wrote that it was a sign of rebellion. They were right. The Yellow Turban Rebellion erupted shortly afterward, plunging the empire into chaos. But what was that glow? Volcanic dust reflecting sunlight, a comet with unusual coloration, a ray atmospheric phenomenon, or something else the ancient observers lacked the language to describe. Whatever it was, it marked the beginning of the end. The Han dynasty collapsed soon after, proving once again that the heavens give, but they also take away. The cosmic question left hanging. So as we stand now in the crumbling ruins of the Han, the skies whisper the same question they have asked for thousands of years. Are dynasties destined to fall because of human failure, or because the cosmos has cycles of its own? Cycles that ancient Chinese astronomers understood far better than we do today. Cycles that govern not just the stars, but the fate of entire civilizations. And if so, what cycle are we in now? The Three Kingdoms and the cosmic fragmentation. With the Han dynasty gone, China splintered once more into rival warlords, yet again mirroring the sky above. For during this turbulent age, astronomers recorded unprecedented celestial fragmentation, multiple comets, mysterious clouds of light drifting across constellations, and nights when the stars faintly flickered as if shivering. Did the heavens reflect the land, or did the land reflect the heavens? The warlords certainly believed the former. Cao Cao consulted astronomers before every campaign. Liu Bei sought omens to legitimize his cause. Sun Quan relied on celestial signs to choose battle days. But the truth is far stranger, because this era recorded one of the brightest astronomical events in human history, the explosion of a distant star so luminous it became visible in daylight. A supernova. The ancient Chinese called it the guest star, a visitor from beyond, a cosmic messenger that appeared in broad daylight for weeks. Imagine the terror. Imagine the awe. Imagine the political chaos when each warlord claimed the guest star announced their right to rule. How could the mandate of heaven survive when the heavens themselves seemed divided? The guest star prophecy and the cosmic confusion. The astronomers wrote meticulously about the guest star. It appeared suddenly near the constellation of the Southern Gate. It shone brighter than Venus. It lingered. It faded slowly. Some believed it was a divine observer sent to judge all three kingdoms. Others believed it heralded the return of the Han. Others feared it was a symbol of the apocalypse. The guest star forced them to confront an unsettling truth. The heavens were not as orderly as they believed. They were dynamic, explosive, unpredictable. So what happens to a political system built on cosmic order when the cosmos rebels? What happens to the mandate of heaven when the heavens themselves break their own rules? The emperors who clung to heaven, dynasties rose and fell, Jin, northern and southern, Sui, Tang. But every emperor clung to the same cosmic contract. They feared eclipses, trembled at comets, guarded star charts with military secrecy. Some emperors even hid celestial discoveries from the public, worried that knowledge of anomalies could encourage rebellion. The Tang dynasty in particular experienced a cascade of celestial omens, swirling lights above Chang'an, eclipses that darkened cities in midday, and a strange black sun phenomenon that terrified the court. Each emperor tried to claim heaven's favor, but the heavens refused to choose a side. And the deeper astronomers studied, the more anomalies they found, yet the more the imperial court demanded interpretations. Imagine being a Tang astronomer. You look up and see a phenomenon you cannot explain. You must write a report to an emperor who might punish you if your interpretation displeases him. You stand between heaven and earth, knowing you cannot lie to either. What would you do? The celestial dragons of the Tang night sky, one of the most mysterious recorded phenomena, occurred in the Tang era. Long serpentine lights twisting across the sky, shimmering and undulating like living creatures. The common people called them sky dragons. Scholars today debate whether these were auroras, atmospheric refractions, or something else, something rarely seen at such low latitudes. But the Tang astronomers interpreted them as warnings that the emperor's command was weakening. And indeed, rebellions erupted. An empire cracked. Once again, cosmic sign and political collapse walked hand in hand. Were these patterns coincidence, correlation, or cosmic communication? Why do the heavens seem to speak loudest during times of human crisis? The Song dynasty and the battle for the cosmos. During the Song dynasty, Chinese astronomy reached extraordinary sophistication. They built advanced observatories, measured star positions with near-modern accuracy, and created star maps that remain astonishing even today. The Song astronomers documented sunspots, planetary motion, and new stars never before recorded. But ironically, the more accurate their science became, the more unstable the mandate system grew. Because accuracy meant revealing anomalies. Revealing anomalies meant revealing celestial displeasure. Revealing celestial displeasure meant encouraging rebellion. And so the Song emperors alternated between celebrating astronomers and fearing them. Some were honored with gifts and titles. Others were exiled or executed for reading heaven incorrectly. Imagine that. Your life depends on correctly interpreting the movement of Jupiter. The mandate of heaven was becoming a philosophical paradox, a system the Chinese needed but could no longer control. The dynasty that fell with darkened skies. When the Mongols invaded and the Yuan dynasty rose, the skies again played their part. Chroniclers wrote of dim skies, strange atmospheric haze, cold summers, and frost in unusual months. Many modern scientists believe this could have been connected to volcanic eruptions affecting global climate. But to the people of the time, it meant one thing: heaven was shifting its mandate. The Mongols claimed the right to rule by pointing to the omens, floods, droughts, eclipses, arguing these were signs that the old rulers had lost heaven's favor. But once in power, they too feared the sky. Kublai Khan demanded constant celestial reports. He punished astronomers for inauspicious predictions. One eclipse was so ill-timed that ministers begged the emperor not to appear in public. Can you imagine a world where the sun and moon control political schedules? The Ming dynasty and the celestial bureaucracy. The Ming rulers institutionalized the mandate like no other dynasty. They established the Imperial Astronomical Bureau, where hundreds of astronomers worked day and night. They guarded astronomical knowledge with secrecy. They believed the heavens were a cosmic courtroom, and their job was to deliver accurate testimony. But the cosmos delivered a brutal blow to the Ming, a devastating supernova witnessed across Asia and Europe. Recorded as a guest star in China, it burned in the sky for weeks. The Ming court panicked. Ministers demanded reforms. Emperor Chongjin felt the walls closing around him. And not long after, rebellion erupted. The Ming dynasty fell. Once again, a cosmic event, followed by political collapse. The cycle repeated as if written into the fabric of the universe. The Qing dynasty and the SKY that refused to obey, the Qing, China's last imperial dynasty, tried to rationalize the mandate through Western astronomy. Jesuit scholars with telescopes brought new methods, new calculations, new maps of the sky. Qing emperors used Western predictions to enhance their legitimacy. But even with modernization, the heavens refused to be tamed. Comets appeared at crucial political moments. Solar eclipses aligned eerily with periods of internal turmoil. Meteor showers lit the sky before major uprisings. And as the dynasty weakened, celestial anomalies multiplied: massive eclipses, hazy skies, unexplained atmospheric displays. It was as though the cosmos, having watched China's long struggle to interpret its will, had decided to speak more loudly than ever. But did anyone still understand the language? The mandate that outlived empires. When the Qing dynasty fell in 1912, the mandate of heaven ended officially, but not culturally. The idea lingered, carried by folklore, philosophy, and memory. Even today, when disasters strike, some still whisper about heaven's displeasure. Even now, when strange astronomical events occur, people wonder. The mandate may be gone, but the question remains: If ancient Chinese astronomers saw patterns linking the cosmos to human destiny, were they imagining connections, or did they uncover something real? Something we have forgotten, something that may yet determine our future. The cosmic paradox. The deeper we look into China's history, the more the pattern appears. Comets before revolutions, eclipses before assassinations, strange lights before invasions, supernovas before dynastic collapse. Could this be statistical coincidence? Certainly. Could it be psychological influence, fear shaping politics? Possibly. Could it be ancient political theater, using the sky to justify change? Absolutely. But what if the ancient astronomers noticed something we haven't fully grasped? What if celestial cycles genuinely align with human cycles? What if the cosmos and civilization move to rhythms that occasionally harmonize, and when they do, the world changes? The thousand-year SKY warning. Some ancient scholars believed the heavens operate in massive cycles repeating every 500 years, 1,000 years, 2,000 years. They called these grand shifts heavens turning. According to their theories, when stars align unfavorably, empires weaken. When celestial anomalies increase, global transformation follows. If these theories hold any truth, what cycle are we living in today? Are we approaching a cosmic shift? Are the increasing astronomical anomalies of our time mere coincidence, or a new chapter in heaven's ancient dialogue with Earth? The question that will not let us go. As we conclude this chapter, one question rises like a silent moon over the ruins of fallen dynasties. Was the mandate of heaven a myth created by men, or was it a message from the stars? And more importantly, if the cosmos truly speaks, who can hear it now? Who can read the sky as the ancient astronomers once did? Who will interpret the omens of our time? And what if the heavens are speaking once again, louder than ever? The final cosmic tease. For if the mandate was written in celestial patterns, then the next step is to unravel those patterns, to decode the ancient star maps, to understand the myths wrapped around constellations, to trace the dragons woven across the heavens. Because the ancient Chinese did not merely observe the sky. They mapped it. They embodied it. They turned the cosmos into a living story. And those maps still exist. Hidden, preserved, waiting. What secrets lie in the dragon constellations? What messages are encoded in their positions? What forgotten knowledge sleeps in the star charts carved into stone, silk, and legend? The cliffhanger. So the question that ends part 3 is the same question that has haunted emperors, astronomers, warriors, poets, and prophets for thousands of years. What are the stars trying to tell us? And even more haunting, what have we failed to understand? Because the next part of our journey takes us deeper than omens, deeper than dynasties, deeper than myth. It takes us into the cosmic blueprint itself, the star charts, the celestial designs, the dragons that stretch across the heavens like guardians of forgotten truth. And if the ancient Chinese were right, then the sky is not simply a map. It is a message. And the dragons are not simply symbols. They are keys. Follow at Antique Treasure TV and return for part 4, Star Charts and Celestial Dragons, Mapping the Cosmos, where we unveil what the heavens have been hiding all along.